Welcome to Eat Sleep Dream English. Today we're looking at American slang versus British slang so that you can tell the difference between a quid and a buck and a manor and a hood. I can't wait, guys. Let's get going. Alright, let's get going straight away. Now, I'm going to give you the standard word and then I'm going to give you the slang alternatives. Alright, so let's get going with number one. Mouth is the standard word. In British slang, we have a lot of British slang words, but one way you can say mouth is cake hole. Cake hole, that's right. The hole where you put the cake. Now, what is that in American English? That's a pie hole, of course. A pie hole. I love it. A cake hole in British English and a pie hole in American English. Why? I don't know why. Just that's what we say, right? So you might say this: shut your pie hole, Tom.
You what?
I told you once, shut your pie hole. Okay, shut it real good.
How better dare you?
Shut it.
How better you?
Shut your pie hole.
How rude are you?
Zip it.
I'll shut my pie hole when you shut your cake hole.
Shut your pie hole.
I've not said that.
Okay, all right, enough fighting over here. So cake hole, British English; pie hole, American English. Okay, what about one single unit of money? Well, in British English, a pound is a quid. A quid, Q-U-I-D, quid. But in American English, one single dollar is a buck, B-U-C-K, a buck. So I might say, can I borrow a quid in British English? But in American English, you might ask for a buck. So can I borrow a buck? Do you guys have a slang term for one single unit of currency in your language? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, house, your house. In British slang, we might say gaff, your gaff. In London, modern London slang, they might say man's yard, man's yard. Now, this is very young. I personally wouldn't say it, but you might hear it if you're in London. In American English, a home or a house would be a crib, a crib. Like a baby, right? A baby starts off, we put them in a crib. That's the same as your house, right? So the slang term for house is crib in America. MTV had a TV program called MTV Cribs, and they took us around famous people's houses. So if it was in Britain, a remake, it would be MTV Gaffs. Doesn't quite sound so cool in British English. MTV Gaffs, not quite as cool, but anyway. Okay, an example sentence. There's a really nice park near my gaff. We can go there. There's a really nice park near my gaff. We can go there. Okay, let's take the word friend. Friend. Now, there are lots of alternatives for friend. It has lots of slang terms. In British English, we might say mate. That's the most common way to say it. So mate. Or bro is possible. Or fam. For modern London English, fam would be used. In American English, you've got homie, and then you've got bro, which I think would be used in both American and British slang. Personally, I would never say homie. I've not really heard it used much in British English. There are lots of other alternative slang words for friend, but these are the main ones, right? So example sentence, all right, mate, how's it going? All right, mate, how's it going? Okay, your area. That's the standard word or neighborhood in American English. Well, in American English, neighborhood is shortened to hood. So your area, the place that you live, could be your hood. Now, I know that has certain connotations in America. So any American viewers watching, what other slang terms do you have for your neighborhood? Not just hood, but anything else. In British English, we would say manor. That's quite an old school word. Your manor, it's your area. Or in modern London slang again, your ends. Your ends. Now, these words have certain connotations, and there's just definitely a certain tribal aspect to them. Like, this is my manor, so like, you know, this is different from your manor. Like, we're from two different places. Now, if you don't want to think like that in a kind of tribal way, then you could just say area. Just use the normal word, the standard word for it, which would be area, right? So if you don't want to use that kind of tribal language, then you could just use the standard form of area. So to be honest, I wouldn't say ends or manor. I don't see London like that. I don't see the city like that. For some people, that is important. Okay, so it depends on who you are and what kind of language you want to use. If I was asking where someone was from, I would say, oh, what area are you from? Or maybe what neighborhood are you from? I might borrow the American English word. but I wouldn't say what manor are you from or what ends are you from. But some people do like to use those words. Okay, let's take the word tired. Tired. Now in British English, we would say knackered. Mate, I am knackered. Perfect word. I love that word. You might also say shattered as well. Oh, I'm shattered. In American slang, you're probably more likely to say beat. I'm beat. You know what? I'm beat. Man, I'm beat. Knackered or shattered in British English, beat in American English. Okay, what about excited? Let's say you're going to a concert tonight and you're excited. In British slang, we would say buzzing. Oh, I'm buzzing for the concert tonight. I'm excited. You might say pumped as well. I'm pumped for the concert tonight. In American English, I think they would say hyped. I'm hyped, or I'm amped. I'm amped, hyped or amped. Now, of course, it is possible to use those in British English. I have heard them before, but I think generally speaking, we would use buzzing. That's the word that I hear most commonly. So, example sentence: I'm buzzing about the concert tonight. I'm buzzing about the concert tonight. Okay, standard word is to share the bill. In British English, we would say to split the bill. All right. So if the bill comes, you say, should we split the bill, guys? Should we share it? In American English, they would say to go Dutch. So when the bill arrives, they would say, should we go Dutch? It means, should we share the bill? Now, again, that's something that you might use in British English, but probably you just say split the bill. Police officer. Now, in American English, it's a cop, right? It's a cop. But in British English, we would probably say copper or bobby as well. That's another term that you might hear. But yeah, copper. There are, of course, loads of slightly ruder terms. We won't go into those today, but yeah, cop to copper. Let's take the adjective angry. Angry. Now, in American English, they would just say, I'm pissed. I'm pissed. Slightly rude, okay? In British English, pissed means drunk. So we add a preposition to make it angry. So it's pissed off. You're pissed off. So, man, I am super pissed off with my boss today. You would be angry at your boss. Okay, what about the adjective pleased? Pleased. If you're pleased, you're happy with something. In American English, they would be stoked. Sounds kind of like a surf term to me, like, yo, I'm stoked. Like, I just got a wave, I'm stoked. Okay, whereas in British English, you'd be chuffed, or chuffed to bits would be their full term. So, oh, I'm chuffed to bits, I caught a wave, I'm chuffed to bits. So yeah, the difference between an American surfer and a British surfer, one would be stoked, and the other one would be chuffed to bits. Okay, and finally, drunk, the adjective drunk. Now, there are hundreds of terms on both sides, American English and British English, for this. Let's talk about a few of them. So in American English, maybe wasted or trashed. Those are typically American that I think of. Whereas in British English, you might say wasted or trashed. Probably, though, you would say hammered, battered. Yeah, words like that. So yeah, a few differences there. Okay, are you ready for a quiz? Now, I'm going to give you a sentence, and I want you to decide, is it British English or American English? Good luck. How did you do? Was that okay? All right, I hope that went well. If there are any more slang terms that you know, please put them into the comments below. American English or British English, I'd love to hear them. And guys, remember, I've got my guide to British English coming out really, really soon. As soon as it's available, I'm going to put a link in the description below. It's got an A to Z of British slang, plus loads of other interesting language and cultural features. You're going to love it. Can't wait for you to see it. All right, guys, thank you so much. This is Tom, the Chief Dreamer, saying goodbye.